Five, four, three, two, one.
Hello, folks. Dave is here, but he's not at the moment. He'll be back in a moment. So hello. Hope everyone's well. That light's a bit bright. It's that funny light at the moment where you can't have the curtains open, but you need some light on. Oh, it's not very good. Let me just do some technical stuff here. Bear with me, folks. There we go. That'll do for now. I hope everyone's well. It's been nice. I've finished for Easter now. No more videos for me to make until Tuesday. There's lots of little things coming up on tomorrow and Monday, so I've been prepared so I can put my feet up. So until Dave gets back, I'll just talk about what's been going on last week. A lot of views last week, 13,464. Well, hey. Yes, good evening. I haven't put the comments in. Oh, thank you, Martin. Oh, I can hear someone.
Hey, he's back. Yes.
He's back.
Sorry about that. I had to attend a presidential briefing.
Good evening, Zeb.
Evening, Zeb. Evening, Martin. Pulsar. Hope everybody's been well.
Yes, just so we've had nearly 13,500 people watch the channel this week.
I know. I saw the little notification saying
know.
You've worked hard and you're doing this. You've posted this. I thought, oh, YouTube's giving you compliments. Wow.
I know. Yeah, so what have you been watching? Well, at number 3 was the Velvet Underground live video, 120 people. Thank you very much. Number 2, the new Waterboys album review I did last week. Life, Death, and Dennis Hopper, 163. I'm still struggling with it. It's a hard listen. The songs are brilliant, but it's the bits in between that I can't get my head round.
Yep.
Yeah, and the top one is I did that tier ranking last Thursday with my top 30, bottom one's 216. But the top short, of course, and Dave will talk more about it later. Considering I only put this up when Tuesday, 1,325 people have watched the Les Binks tribute.
Yeah,
that's how much the guy was. He was part of the Priest family, and he was.
Yeah, and for those idiots who put a thumbs down on a tribute, you deserve to go to hell. Yeah,
it's not nice, whoever you are. Anyway, how's this for the last month? 42,643 views.
There you go.
That's what I was getting pats on the back for.
Yeah.
Official. No, it was an official thing on my page. Flashing lights. 71 new subscribers. So what have we been watching? Well, in 4th place, the tier ranking at 216. Equal second, Wishbone Ash Live and Leeds Record Fair on 245. But the Who semi-final of Battle Royale, 329. But
it's amazing we didn't have 329 votes.
I know, but 329 people have watched it. But the top short, again, another tribute And that was to the magnificent Clem Burke.
Hmm.
1,789 views since I put it up. That's fantastic. A lot of love going out there to Clem. So, since we started this escapade, I've now had 683,483,000 views. That's a lot, isn't it?
1,000. Yeah. 683,483.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've now got
100,000 by, let's see, end of the summer.
2,690 subs, 10 off 2,700.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. So what's the scores on the doors? Because this is the one Dave likes. Mike Oldfield, 4490. Derek Riggs, 4528. Jethro Till, 4558. Slade, 5350. And Status Quo, 10,736. Paul Diano still at 4484. Will Clem or Les catch him up?
I don't know.
Who knows? So, what have I been listening to this week? Well, I have listened to a huge chunk of stuff, but that's a spoiler, but in progress. Dwight Yorkham, 4 of 17. The Hollies, 6 of 21. Kayak, 5 of 17. And Rick James, 5 of 13. So I have been listening to all sorts of good stuff, but I'll tell you about that. So that's end of that. That's all the stats out of the way. So if I do that, make myself big, and say it's now time for the hatches, the matches, and the dispatches.
Right. I did try something earlier, but it didn't work. So, okay. In numbers, we've had 4 dispatches, we've got 11 hatches, and there were 3 matches. So, dispatches, those who have passed. It wasn't announced until the 12th, but on the 10th, Nino Tempo, American pop singer and sax player, he was in Nino Tempo and April Stevens, and he was also a member of the Wrecking Crew. On the 11th, Mike Berry, English singer and actor. You might remember him more from his acting than his singing. He was in Are You Being Served? And whenever Mr. Lucas left, Mike Berry stepped in as Mr. Spooner.
He also recorded stuff for Joe Meek.
Yep.
And he had a single called about Buddy Holly.
Yep. But it didn't do as well as Are You Being Served? He's better known in the UK for Are You Being Served? Anyway, on the 14th, as we have said, the death was announced of James Leslie, better known as Les Binks. Now, unfortunately, he died on the 15th of March, but it wasn't announced until a couple of days ago. The heavy metal drummer, best known for being drummer for Judas Priest from 77 to 79.
He drummed on Hellbent for Leather. Was his.
Mm-hmm. And then on the 16th, those of you who've listened to Radio 2 will recognise the name of Colin Berry, British radio DJ, presenter and newsreader. He started in Radio Caroline, then moved to Yorkshire TV, did a spell at HTV, BBC Radio Medway, and then he joined BBC Radio 2, and he was there for 33 years. Sad loss. Lovely voice. I used to hear him in the mornings driving down to work. I'd hear him giving the news and the travel. Lovely gent. Anyway, those are our dispatches. Birthdays today. We've got 11. So 36 today is Avriel Benjamin Kaplan. He's an American singer-songwriter, and he's the former vocal bass of the a cappella group Pentatonics. He was with them from 2011 to 2017. 44 today is Hanna Helena Pakarainen, Finnish pop and pop rock singer. She rose to fame as the winner of the first series of the Finnish singing competition Idols in 2004, and went on to represent Finland in Helsinki in the Eurovision Song Contest in 2007. 51 today, we've got a pair of birthdays. First up, Lars Mikael Åkerfeldt. Swedish musician, he's the lead vocalist, guitarist, and primary songwriter for the prog metal band Opeth. He's also a former vocalist for the death metal supergroup Bloodbath, and he was also the guitarist for the one-off band Steel, and he's been in the collaboration band Storm Corrosion. I can't read my own writing. Storm Corrosion with Stephen Wilson. But also 51 today, she was born Victoria Caroline Adams. She's now She's Posh Spice. Mrs. Beckham, English fashion designer, singer, and TV personality. Ugh. Not my favourite Spice Girl, but anyway. 58 today is Matthew Chamberlain, American session drummer, record producer, and songwriter. And by God, he has played with some list of people. For example, Pearl Jam, Eddie Brickell and New Bohemians, David Bowie, Tori Amos, Morrissey, The Wallflowers, Elton John, Fiona Apple, Bob Dylan, Brandi Carlile, Garbage, Macy Gray, and Soundgarden, to name some of them. 61 today is Maynard James Keenan, an American singer, songwriter, philanthropist, record producer, and winemaker. Best known as the singer and primarily lyricist of the rock bands Tool, A Perfect Circle, and Pucifer. 66 today is a sax player, Stephen Barry Singleton, English sax player. He was in the pop band ABC. 70 today is Rob Bolland, Dutch singer and guitarist, group Bolland and Bolland. It's a duo with his Purdy, and with his brother, they have produced and written for artists such as Falco, including his #1 hit Rock Me Amadeus. They also wrote for Sam Fox. They wrote Love House, and they wrote and performed the original You're in the Army Now, which was later covered by Status Quo.
Unfortunately.
Say no more. 71 today is Michael Andrew Sembello. He's an American singer, guitarist, keyboardist, songwriter, composer, and producer. He's been nominated for an Academy Award and a Golden Globe for one song in 1983, Maniac. He sang and co-wrote. The song reached #1 in the US and featured in the Flashdance film soundtrack. 77 today, and Ian was a little bit shocked by this one. Jan Hammer, the Czech-American rock keyboardist with Mahavishnu Orchestra, Jeff Beck, and he was the composer of the Miami Vice theme and Crockett's theme. And then Granddad today, yeah, you get us a strike if you do that. Granddad today is 83 years young Charles Anthony Buster Williams, American jazz bassist. Now, not electric bass. This is a proper big bass. He's known for his membership in Herbie Hancock's early 70s group. He worked with Larry Coryell, and he was in the Thelonious Monk rep band Sphere. And he's been the accompanist of choice for many singers, including Nancy Wilson. So there's your hatches. Your matches, we have 3. In 1941, American actress Doris Day, at the tender age of 19, married trombonist Albert Jordan. Now, this is rather sad and nasty. marriage, unfortunately, because when Doris Day became pregnant and refused to have an abortion, Albert Jordan beat her in an attempt to force a miscarriage. Not surprisingly, they got divorced in 1943. Also in 1943, actress Claire Trevor married Navy Lieutenant Silas William Dunsmore. They got divorced in 1947. Marriages didn't last long sometimes. But then in 1993, Bangles lead singer Susanna Hoff married director Jay Roach. He directed Austin Powers. And to date, as far as we're aware, they're still married.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Anyway, that's our hatches, matches, and dispatches. I can close that and get that out of the way. Oh no, let's have a quick look and refresh and see. Ooh, the numbers have changed. The numbers have changed. Ooh, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that quiet for a bit. Anyway, right. That's Zeb. Was that the original link, or because whenever the video went up, I typed in chat. If you're watching it, refresh because we had to replace the link. If you need, I can put it up again in the chat. I'll go here.
Yeah, Martin, I don't like Big Love. I think it's an awful track.
Go there. Go there. Right.
That's all it is. Awful.
There you go. There's the link is up if you want to go and vote. So that's done. That's done. Okay. Let's add this to the stage. Is he wanting to go out?
No, he's been out. He's just showing off.
All right. Rocky, say it. Shh, hush. It's not your turn. Okay, let's put you in full screen and off you go.
Okay, what's on next week? Well, I can tell you what's happening Monday. Nothing. As you can see, a half-eaten Easter egg, feet up, doing nothing. So it all starts on Tuesday this week. And we're going to do FM, not the British band, the Canadian version of FM, which are pretty good. Retro ranking, I'm going to do, I've done another of those, choosing a track from each album from the band. And we're going to do Marillion this time on there of all the people that played on the Marillion albums. Derek and Michael are in the picture as well. On Wednesday, part 4 of Elvis, we're going to look at the soundtrack albums, which are my favourite albums by Elvis, by anything. I love the thing. Thank you, Rocky. Thursday, the return of the sophomore drone. 2 go in, only 1 comes out, and our first 2 competitors are Van de Graaff Generator. The least we can do is wave at each other against Nectar's A Tap in the Ocean. Also, we've got a pick and mix of interviewers' cameras, and this one's quite special for me because I'm there. I'm in the crowd. It's Iron Maiden, made in England, filmed on the 27th and 28th of November, 1988. Oh, those were the days. It is a hard one, Zeb. It is a hard one. So, yeah. Easy pick for the Pulsar. Yeah, I think I know what the Pulsars will be. And then Friday. Susie and the Banshees live albums, and it's coming out tomorrow. The album that a lot of us have been looking forward to. It's the new Hawkwind album. There is no space for us. Can't wait to. I've heard the 2 tracks they've released, and they're fabulous. So, yeah, Hawkwind Pulsar. I shall be listening to it tomorrow morning with my feet up. That would be nice. And then Saturday, busy old. We got one of Hugh's. I think this is Hugh's cousin, Barbara. She's got a birthday, so we're looking at her birthday top 10 on the 26th of April, 1972. And then we've got a Toya. I'm sure Simon will be watching this. A Toya top 10 with Richard, myself, and our very special guest, the man from Corby. It's Nick from Nick's Final Butty, which I'm looking forward to that one. So that's what we're doing next week. On here. It's playing silly buggers again, isn't it?
It is. There we go. So, what you need to do is take out that little bit. What was you before? Okay. Where you had your display, whatever.
Okay, right, okay. We're in the studio.
There we go. That's it. Bingo. There we go. Back to normal.
Right. So, yeah, that's so we've got one more little job to do. Spin some wheels. Nash the Slash.
Yes. So, as you can see, 1960 to 1994 by request, because we've had too many 1950s, and there's a bunch of. But we're not letting the cat out of the bag to say that there's going to be more 1950 stuff coming.
Yeah,
so we've taken it out of the year picker. So for the moment, shuffle. So
this one's for the UK top 40.
Hey?
What's the first one? What's the first one for?
UK top 10, please.
Top 10, yeah, sorry.
Don't do this to me.
Sorry.
Hang on. Just go right. Off we go.
Come on, the nice. $19.94. That'll be an interesting one.
Yep.
Okay. For the 29th of May for USA. Oh, that's good. So we've got the 90s. No problem with that.
Only just
1993.
You nearly had 90.
Dave has no space for the new Hawkwind. So Dave's in search of space. Ta-da!
Hang on. Hey, what?
Dave's what, I have no space for the new war.
Oh.
So Dave.
Good evening, Dave. I wondered which Dave you were talking about for a minute.
He's in search of space.
Yes.
Do you like that?
So I now have to go.
Pulsar liked it. Yes.
Right, you talk amongst yourselves, because I'm going to be muttering in the background while I find
do his mutterings.
The 15th.
Yeah, so
trip down memory lane.
So I have got some stuff lined up, as I said, tomorrow, as it's Good Friday. Good Friday. The shorts are quite themed.
Mm-hmm.
Time of year. So, and I've got another nice little thing going up tomorrow as well. And I got something for Bank Holiday Monday as well.
Right. So if you were listening carefully, You'll have had a clue.
Oh, good evening, Jim. Hope you're well.
Right, that's been added to the schedule. Right, okay. So I can close that. Right. Would you like to know how it's going at the moment?
Yeah, why not? Let's have a look at the score.
Let's see. There's been 9 votes, and it's 5-4. Right. I need to.
Yeah,
Listen.
I've finished. This is the last thing I'm doing till Tuesday morning now.
Well, currently, The Who on 5, New Order on 4.
Oh, close.
It is. And
It's all.
let's have a look.
It's all to play for.
Here we go. Look, somebody's already tried to vote twice.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Doesn't it make you laugh?
I know it is. Why does it show me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? No, right, 2 votes. And it's that one again.
As I say, we'll go to the foot of 2 hours.
Yeah.
It'll end in a draw. That means we'll have to have penalties.
No, not doing that. Not doing that. You split the prize, you can have a £5 voucher each.
An honourable draw.
Evening, Simon.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know what we were. I'll couch that bridge when I get to it.
Yes.
Slap bridge.
I tell you what. Write them on a piece of paper each, put them in a hat, and then get Rocky to pick one of them out. Or whichever one he doesn't destroy is the winner.
That could be interesting if I get Rocky to do it.
Oh, right. Oh, Pulsar has found out that you can look at locations and find out where people are.
Oh, he found that, has he? Oh, that's good. Just bear with me a moment, folks. I'm trying to do 2 things at once here.
Oh, God. He's multitasking.
I'm trying to multitask, which doesn't work half the time. Because I'm not very good at. There's certain things I can multitask, but there are certain ones I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be with you in 30 seconds, folks. Talk amongst yourselves.
That's it. Right. Put the timer on. 30 seconds declared.
That's it. I can. That's it. That's sorted.
Yeah. Put him on the clock. He sorts it out. You've not got your light on tonight.
I have, but it was a bit too bright. I might have to turn it up now. Trouble is, it's in the right. There we go. Ta-da!
Ooh.
It's all good. So, everyone ready for Easter?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes and no.
How many of people in the UK had a late night on Sunday night? I did.
Saturday night, Sunday night.
Well, I couldn't stop watching the golf.
But it's half of Northern Ireland was watching it.
Oh, that's going down rather good tonight. Oh, punk IPA. I went to a retirement party on Friday.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you mentioned that.
One of my ex-colleagues of county council. And it's quite a thing now that of all the people that were there, half of us are retired now. I saw someone I hadn't seen for 30 years.
I hate to think how many people I work with are still working.
Well, it was a nice I mean, the name of the street won't, but you remember when I worked at Robert Street? There was one of the girls from there, and apart from one lady that's no longer with us, sadly, that's the first time that team had been together since
that's gone back
1995.
I was already working down in London then.
Yeah. Yes. That was 5 o'clock, straight out the office door into the Wigan pit. Oh, I couldn't do that now.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I went in a pub that's changed name since I last went in it, and it's been like this name for about 2 years.
Yeah. What was it before?
You remember the pub near the Wigan Pen, the Goose with the 2 doors or something on 2 Street?
the one that used to be the bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, they used to do some good food in there.
Yes, they did.
They also had some nice beer occasionally.
Yeah.
And I did like the upstairs bar.
Yes, I did. It was a bit quieter. And then I came out again. I came home.
Ow. What have I done?
I'm not going to get smashed in London. Not at them prices. I must admit, when I was in London,
smashed will be your wallet.
I tell you what, I remember. Well, this is years and years ago. It was the first time that I paid £5 for a pint, and we thought, does it include the glasses?
Oh, it wasn't the one with the tree.
No, it wasn't the one with the tree. This is the pub that's there's a boat on the Thames.
There's several.
Yeah, the one that's near Charing Cross.
Yeah, down by Embankment Tube Station. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a tourist trap. That was.
Yeah. So we
Evening, Andy.
Yeah, we took the glasses as souvenirs.
I don't blame you. London prices are they're disgusting. They're disgraceful.
Yeah, I mean, I think the places we're going on the outskirts,
Well, you'll still get hammered because London rents. They've got to pay the rents and whatnot, so the prices get driven up.
Yeah, but that's for another day. That's for another day and another story.
Yeah, I'm just debating whether or not, because I need to get myself a new computer. This one is dying, and I can order one, and it'll be delivered at some stage, but it costs extra to deliver to me. Whereas if I get it delivered to you, it's free.
But how much would it cost me to send it to you?
Exactly, it wouldn't cost the 39 quid plus VAT. So
it's worth looking into, isn't it?
It is, but then if I was to go over to you to get it, I mean, I'm looking at round trip 400 quid.
Oh, good evening, nice to see you. If you haven't been in for a little while, welcome.
Hello, Oakenshield. Yes. And Easter greetings. So, whatever I've done, I've knocked myself the back of my hand, and I'm leaking.
Oh dear! It's a bit like Rocky.
No, I'm leaking more than Rocky.
Oh dear!
Because I'm on thinners, it takes a lot longer for stuff to stop.
Yeah, as Rocky's getting older, he's getting little warts and little nodules everywhere, and he's had one on his ear, and it was quite pink. And then all of a sudden, it started going a different colour, which I thought, oh, I had a feel, and he doesn't even know you're touching it. And this week it's getting smaller. I looked at him earlier, and I thought, this completely shrunk. And then I was down by the sofa, and half of it had fallen off.
I wonder if he got bitten by a tick or something while he was out on a walk.
I don't know. He caught it He did catch it the other day on a bush again. Rocky's he just loves sniffing plants. He never used to bother, but now he seems to be fascinated by any sort of plant and bushes.
Well, it's a place where other dogs, if there are any, will mark.
Yeah, and he went right under one the other day, and he caught it. I mean, I always clean it out. I've got antiseptic wipes, baby wipes. I buy them just for Rocky if he catches himself or anything, So he's always got things, and he doesn't jump around, which is good.
There you go.
So yeah.
Oh, come on, you stop. I might have to go and put a plaster on this in a minute.
Oh,
anyway.
Anyway, I'll tell you what I have been listening to this week a lot. And I'm going to be doing something on it, and that's Lexi Jones. Yes, very good. And the other thing, I'll tell you what, this is what Zeb told me about. I started listening to them, Super Sister. Listen to their latest album, and I think it's absolutely great. And we'll be doing a review of that after Easter. But I have added them to the laundry list now, and I will be ranking them because I think that I think they're pretty good. I've never heard of them. How have I missed out on this band? I don't know. But they are really good. I for those of you who know, if you like it, there's a fusion band, so you've got bits of jazz and bits of prog thrown in there, and they're pretty decent. Looking forward to listening to the rest of them. Yeah, but I've got some really good sophomore drums lined up. Been really rattling the brain.
I'm going to mute me for a minute. I need to step away.
Yeah, I think I've discovered a band. I mean, thanks to you guys, I've discovered another band. How the hell I've never heard of these? I really don't know. But they are absolutely excellent. Been well into that. I think I've played the new album about 8 times now. Loving it all the time. I've also been listening to lots of. I'm doing them all. I'm going to do them all, Zeb. Just going to put them all in one little basket because I think that you need to, because you will be there piddling about here, there, and everywhere. Just do them in one foul swoop. Everything to do with Super Sister. That won't be for a little while though. So I've got a list as long as your arm at the moment. We're doing things. Right, is anyone going to come up and join me? I can't believe I haven't done this all on my own for a long time. That goes back to when I first started live streams. Just chatting to people and everything. I'll put the link up if there's anyone about that wants to jump on. There we go. Yeah, so as I said, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm literally going to put my feet up and just chill out. Listen to some music. Got a couple of videos I want to watch. One of them is related to doing channel stuff. Eating your dinner. No problem, mate. I've got stuff to listen to as well for Toya. Been listening to some Toya this week, just to refresh me on some of my favourite songs and make sure I've made me list, and I wanted to just listen to make sure that I got it right, and I think I have. Oh, time for a drink. All this talking. I haven't even got no records to show you because they're all tucked away. I've got one, but I'm not going to show now because it's the thing for tonight. I've got nothing about to show you. Oh, someone to save the day. I'm going mad here.
Right. Hello, Mike.
Oh, you wait around for two and two turn up at the same time.
There you go. Right, blue plaster are fixed. I'll probably have to put another one on later. Hey ho.
I haven't got any records to hand. They're all in the cupboard.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you. There's now a model from a new one. It's this one. Yeah, their latest album.
Hard Times, Furious Dancing.
Yeah, they're an absolutely brilliant live band, and there's a sort of a free gift in here that you don't see very often in Free with Vinyl, because it's a tea towel.
Hey,
there you go.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah,
don't sit it out.
Yeah, there you go. So
that's unusual.
Yeah. I've only listened to the album once, and it's brilliant. They're sort of like an indie band from the UK. I've seen them live a couple of times, and they're always absolutely brilliant. So yeah. So that's that.
Excellent.
That's uncles. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to talk about Toy. Because obviously I'm doing that video with Nick and Richard in a few weeks' time. So I thought I'd listen to some Toya. I sort of made the initial list of my favourite songs.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that's just because there's a couple that I'd never really heard, and that's one of them is the In the Court of the Crimson Queen.
Oh yeah, that's quite recent, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
She does a couple of really good covers on that.
Yeah. But did you not invite Simon on to share his favourite Toya songs?
Yeah, well, we thought about it.
He's a big fan.
Oh.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I'd got that on, and my neighbour knocked the door, and he didn't instead of saying hello, and he went, "Oh, Toya."
Well, there you go. There you go.
He says, "I didn't know you was a Toya fan." Oh, so there's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I must say, there's quite a lot of Toya that I don't know. Yeah. Just a sec. I just get.
I'm just looking up some of the TV stuff.
There you go.
That's you've got it.
Got the Crimson Queen.
Yeah,
that's a nice cover. That.
Yeah. So it's not a bad album, and it's a double, and it comes and here's Iain for sort of all you people who like ogling at Toya, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There's one here. There you go. Another picture of her there with some of the sort of details of the songs, and then there you go. There she is.
I love that picture of her.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There she is.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got on album. I've only got the Blue Meaning and Anthem, and
Yeah.
2 EPs. But I might be getting a few more. You know, if I see any about, I will always buy a Toya. I did have a copy of the live album Toya 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 on
Yeah, that's pretty good.
on cassette, and I did have it on CD.
All right. yeah, that's right, Nick. Yeah, call it what it is.
Yes. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to be doing a thing on the ladies' day, so I'm might split it because you've got the people don't forget there's Toya the band, Toya.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Minx was the first solo album, I think. Nick will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure Minx was the first solo album as a solo artist.
Yeah, I don't know very much about her sort of later stuff, really. Yeah, what I want to get is the EP version of Sheep Farming in Barnet. I haven't got that.
No.
I've got the album.
Yeah, I mean, I love that cover. I mean, obviously Nick told us the story.
Well, yeah, they broke into the base, didn't they?
Yeah.
yeah, through the wire in order to get the photograph.
Yeah, I haven't got that one. That is one I did have it on CD.
Yes, Findingdales.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, up in North Yorkshire. Yeah.
No, Andy, not Minx. Minx, M-I-N-X.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a blocked nose, so it'll probably come out wrong. Minx.
No.
As in Minnie the Minx. So I went to a 21st birthday party. We had to go as comic characters, and Dennis the Menace was out, so I hired the Minnie the Minx.
Oh my god!
Oh, no.
Big foam face and everything.
Brilliant.
Yeah, because when I walked in, it says, "Hello, how are you?" "I'm all right." "Oh, you're a geezer." I said I couldn't get Dennis the Menace because someone else has got it.
Oh God! Cross-dressing. Add that to your list of accomplishments. Oh.
Yeah, cross-dressing. I've done it for theatre, but I've not done it outside of theatre. I've dressed up. I did it. We did when I worked at Shire, where was a bunch of us were Monty Python freaks. And one Christmas we always used to put something on because we had like the pair. What we did, we had an evening for the parents, a dinner and let her eye down. You know, all their kids were being looked after or anything. And we just says, come out, used to say, come to the social club and have a bite to eat and a bit of fun. And we always put some entertainment on. And we discovered there was a lot of Monty Python fans in the thing. So what we did our version of Live at the Hollywood Bowl.
Albatross.
Yeah,
Albatross.
But we didn't. We actually used the actual clips. You know, like with the Olympics, we used the proper clips.
Right.
That was brilliant.
Did you do the 4 Yorkshiremen?
Yeah, we did we did all the classics. It was just called. It wasn't called Live at the Hollywood Bowl. It was called Live at the Dishwater Bowl. But we did. It was brilliant because we had a couple of guys that could play guitars so we could do the llamas. As well.
No.
And
Right.
we did. I can't say, but we did Mrs. Nigger Beta. You know.
Oh,
Oh, does he have a top?
yes.
Please me. I was doing it, you know, Terry the Joe. What does he talk? Because apparently I sounded so much like Terry Jones when I put on a female voice.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
even did that version of "He's been a very naughty boy."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Terry Jones does that so well. I think that was his best sort of character in all of Monty Python. And of course, there's Life of Brian, isn't there? Brian's mom, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
Oh, yep. I'm trying to remember what was it the Batley ladies?
Oh, the reenactments.
The reenactments
Yeah.
of various battles done by somewhere ladies society.
Was it the Batley Historical Society? It's just a mud bath and that.
Yeah. It was handbags in the bloody field, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
That's got to be one of the funniest things we ever put on, but no one recorded it.
Oh.
That's
But there was no mobile phones in them days, were there?
Evening, Romuald. Or good afternoon. Bon
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Hiya.
Yeah, I'm talking of that. I've watched your folk one today.
Oh yeah.
Your vote, yeah. There's some stuff in there that's pretty good. I've forgotten how good.
Have you? Yeah. I mean, this is just scratching the surface. But
Yeah,
did you see Romin's video?
I haven't watched Rommy's yet.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to respond, so I will be watching
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There
mate.
he is. Evening, Nick.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Mother,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
was I right? Was Minx her first solo album?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah. Last one as Toya, the band, was Love is the Law. And then it was Minx. Or Mince.
Mince.
Mince, yeah.
We'll forever call it Mince now.
Yeah.
It's all the way down to Posh Pop.
Yeah. That was the last one. Oh, excuse me.
I quite agree with you, Ramon. He's amazingly good.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah.
I think we've got to start a bit of a folk revival.
Well, I think, I think we really ought to. And I'll be in touch with you shortly, Romy. Anyway, so we'll.
We've got the jazz one. We need there's got to be a folk one. And we can present it in chunky jumpers.
Yeah, that's right. Pint of cider.
Chunky jumpers.
Yeah, a chunky jumper and sandals. Yeah, that's all you need. then you're authentic.
You're authentic folk people.
Yeah. Open-toed sandals and socks.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You're part of the uniform, mate.
Yeah. Blimey.
I can't do the long hair anymore, but
no.
But yeah, they were, nothing wrong with that. I mean,
we can all go tree hugging as well.
Yay!
Yeah, that'll be
So long as you don't go hugging 500-year-old oak trees in London, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
As I said the other week, whether we used to have there was a folks festival at Spratton every year. It was brilliant. Everyone jumped on that one, and we had such a great time.
Oh, they had that fair as well, didn't they? That was it was on at the same time, sort of a medieval type thing going on.
Yes, lots of sort of Renaissance music and mandolins and banjos and all sorts of. It was always a good time out.
Yeah,
it was. Even better if you were good at throwing the welly.
Yes. No, we didn't sing "Kumbaya."
No, come on. You're getting silly now.
We can all eat quinoa as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to, if you go into Scottish folk singing, you have to have what Benny Connor's like, hey, hey.
Yeah.
That twitch.
And anyway, Ramon, this is why I don't talk about folk music on this channel. They just take the piss, don't
No, we're not taking the piss. I've been to the Cambridge Folk Festival, no less.
Well, good for you, yeah.
And I saw Gino Washington. Yeah.
He must be knocking on a bit now.
He was when I saw him back in the 80s.
Yeah.
But he was great.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He's still gigging.
Oh wow.
He's another one I'd like to go and see. I've got a few of his albums upstairs. Yeah.
He was brilliant. I mean, his version of Knock on Wood is absolutely amazing. All crowded in this little tent, and it was absolutely rammed.
Brilliant soul singer he is. I do like him. I think his famous one's Michael the Lover, isn't it?
Yeah.
And of course, he's a Gino, although it's not him singing it, is it? You know.
No. Yeah. So I do like me folk. There's nothing wrong with a bit of folk. So
I did watch it. I have watched it, but I don't know nothing about it, so I haven't really said anything. If I can't contribute to the conversation or whatever, I'll keep stum.
Well, it's why it's probably why I've not really shown this stuff before, because it's sort of it's not something that that we sort of I don't know, not something that you see very often on.
No, well, the only other person I saw see and hear talking about it is Rob Ison.
Yeah, Rob does quite a lot. Yeah. He's he's a big Roy Harper fan.
I've seen him as well.
Yeah. I think everyone's seen Roy Harper. He used to turn up at like at any sort of festival. That Roy Harper seemed to be on the bill at some point. Back in the 70s.
Yeah, Groovy Lisa likes Noah Khan.
Oh.
Well, hi, Lisa. Anyway, well, you see, I like the Levelers.
Yeah.
Because I think they're a good folk band, but they like punk, don't they?
Well, there's quite a lot of that, and it's something I think I might sort of look at. There's quite a few sort of folk punk sort of bands. I mean, obviously, the big one, of course, is the Pogues, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you got the Levelers, and then there's the Men That Can Hang.
With the Pogues, you got sort of traditional Irish sort of themes, and as well as the sort of pop type themes,
Yeah, that's right. There's a real sort of mix, I mean, there's some sort of like stuff that they've written that's very sort of Irish sort of folky, isn't it? And then there's the sort of more traditional stuff that they've covered.
Yeah.
Sometimes with the Levelers, you listen to it and you forget that they're actually from Brighton, because some of their songs are very Irish, some of their songs are very Scottish. And there's some of their songs that sound like REM.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, there's the men they couldn't hang as well, who sort of like, you feel they ought to be an Irish band, but I think they're from Southampton or Portsmouth, somewhere down that way.
Then there's a big folk thing on the south coast, isn't there?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's like where that part, from say Brighton going down towards Cornwall. There's it's a big folk scene down there.
Well, I mean, Shirley Collins was, based in Sussex. One of the greatest of them all. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing something on the Levelers very shortly. So
yeah.
I have been listening to them quite
Should
a
be
lot.
good. Yeah. So.
What did they sing? I remember the name, but I can't think of anything.
They had that big hit, didn't they? In the 90s.
Yeah, but I can't think what it is.
No, nor can I. Dave will tell us.
Let's have a look here. These go from studio albums, live albums, and singles. Let's see. Bell Roosters Garden, Julie, Hope Street, Just the One, What a Beautiful Day.
That's it. What a beautiful day.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
1997 got to number 13.
Yeah. I mean, one of my most recent additions to my stiff singles is Pogues and the Dubliners doing the Irish Rover.
Yeah,
absolutely
I got that one.
Brilliant.
That's a classic, absolute classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a clip of on YouTube, and it's people that went on Top of the Pops drunk. There's a great one of the Pogues.
I bet.
Oh,
he was always drunk, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Shane,
Yeah, I think that was his natural state, wasn't it?
Yeah. But he what I liked about him, he was supposed to be on my it's Christmas, and he was just going.
Wow.
There was Kirsty looking at him, and she was trying not to laugh.
Yeah. Now that's a good gig, Andy. Levelers and New Model Army.
New Army, that's an excellent gig.
Yeah. New Model Army, that's another band that's still going strong after all these years.
Oh. I'll tell you what I saw a clip of on I watched, it was an Annie Nightingale thing I found on YouTube. She did a program about new wave and punk.
Right.
And the first band were on were the Damned.
Excellent. Yeah.
And Captain Sams goes, "We're the Damned and we play punk."
Yeah. He's a character, isn't he?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, I think if you just put Annie Nightingale New Wave, it'd come up with the video. It's about an hour long.
I'll give that a watch. That's
it's got everybody. It's got everybody on it.
So what was it? Was it one of these BBC ones where they just get sort of clips from the BBC programs, so like Whistle Test and stuff?
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's
a
lot of old grey Whistle Test and Top of the Pops and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
because you get all the new bands of that period was on. And it's got Annie Nightingale introducing it, so that's to.
Yeah,
you'd think when the BBC would do a big DVD box set of every episode of the Whistle Test.
Yeah. I mean, Whistle Test was just sort of brilliant program, and the BBC don't seem to be bothered with sort of like live music anymore in that way. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the Eternally Dreadful later with Jules Holland. And Jules has got some sort of iron grip on the sort of programme. But you get the
Yeah.
same old rubbish, you know, sort of week after week, you know, these superannuated sort of pop stars, you know, and very little in the way of sort of new music or anything that's actually properly exciting.
I mean,
There,
you must
there
think all
used
the
to be
people-
new stuff.
Yeah. I really need something like Whistle Test again.
Yeah, I mean, you remember how many bands made their sort of British debut on that programme?
Yeah. But what I liked about it is it was all about just the bands and the music, and it was, you know, the whole thing was sort of completely stripped down. You know, it was just a studio. There was no, you know, they didn't even bother with a proper backdrop, did they?
No.
You know, and it was just sort of like the bands were there and they'd, you know, they play a couple of songs. So yeah, I mean, all the way through, you know, and I mean, you got, you know, Whispering Bob Harris, you know, to
Hampton's very own.
back in the 70s, and then you know, there's a story when Sid Vicious had him up against the wall, telling him he hated him. I think that happened in some nightclub somewhere, and you know, I mean, I think people say that the confrontation was a bit sort of set up, really.
I mean,
Not
that's
by
a bit.
Bob Harris.
Can you remember who cancelled the old grey whistle test?
Michael Grade.
Nope.
No, I don't know.
Janet Street Porter.
Oh God.
Really?
Yeah, she had been appointed head of youth programs at the BBC, and
Oh.
early
Yeah.
'87 she cancelled it.
Yeah.
Didn't she start up one of, I can't remember what it was called now, one of those sort of youth magazine type programs?
Yeah, there was. She did Channel 4 stuff, didn't she?
As well, yeah.
Yeah.
She was on London Weekend Television, Network 7,
Yeah.
Channel 4.
Yeah.
And there was another one, wasn't there, with that is it Magenta Divine?
Oh God, yeah, yeah, right, sort of pose, wasn't she?
Yeah.
God, yes.
Yeah,
The person that thought she knew everything about music and what she knew you could write on the back of a stamp.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I
Mind
mean,
you, we do have
the
something
Tube
to
used to be quite good, didn't it?
Yeah, Tube was, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
Friday. It was like Friday tea time, wasn't it? So you could watch it before you went out on a Friday.
Yeah, watching great bands on there. Big Country. They went
The
on.
word wasn't too bad either.
No, I mean he got a
But
bit.
Mark
got a bit
Lamar's a
silly,
bit
didn't
full
it?
of himself though.
Yeah,
Ian,
yeah,
you can be thankful for Janet Street Porter because she commissioned a series,
yeah.
Red Dwarf.
All
Oh,
right.
we'll let her off for that.
Yeah, yeah, that was.
There is a bit of saving grace.
I mean,
Oh.
I've met Janet Street Porter.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, she got on the
Yeah.
wrong train with the wrong ticket.
Well, I'd have left her there.
Yeah. So what happened, mate?
It was the usual. Oh, do you know I'm a friend of Richard Branson?
God.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's your boss. I says, no, he's not my boss.
Yeah.
I said, my boss is so and so. It works at Euston. That's my boss. Oh, she was horrible.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, she was a horrible person.
Yeah.
There's a band that has been mentioned tonight that's not on the laundry list and hasn't been covered.
Who?
New Model Army.
Oh,
They're not. Oh, we better put them on then.
yeah, come on, yeah. Yeah, a bit of
New Model Army.
post punk, yeah.
That's 16 albums.
Oh, I like them because it's another one for a marathon, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll have that on the list. You see, I remember that when I used to drink in the Billy, the goths used to come in as well. So you'd have metal and goth music, and it was great. Everyone sort of you know, we got into goth because of the goths, and they got into the metal because of us. And everyone just got on happily and had a good time.
Yeah.
I think this is it. The owner wouldn't tolerate any punch-ups going on between the two.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't have any of that. But he says it's all good rock music at the end of the day. Just enjoy it. He did, and that's when he always had goth bands in and rock bands and punk bands. He had them all in.
Yeah, but I mean that's it, isn't it? You know, there's not an awful lot of difference, is there? You know, when it comes to it, especially when you listen to live music. I think, you know, live music you can get into just about anything, can't you?
Yeah, you know, I've seen so many different sort of genre music in pubs, and you just say, yeah, this is good. It's just great that it was free. You just would watch anything that was free.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a great. We had a great goth band round here years ago. You know, they did all the. You know, they did.
Yeah.
They did. Part of their stuff was The Cure. They used to do a lot of The Cure. They used to do Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Leeds band. Yeah.
You know, they're great bands.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, Leeds were, you know, had a bit of a reputation for being a sort of, you know, goth central at one point. And you know, you know the Corn Exchange just outside the market.
Yeah.
The round building. Yeah. But all the goths used to sort of meet there on a Saturday morning. You just get absolutely loads of them. Because at the time, you know, inside there were, you know, lots of little shops, and they were, you know, quite sort of like, you know, alternative shops, you know, clothing and all sorts. And yeah, they used to meet round there until Leeds City Council decided that they were going to sort of gentrify the Corn Exchange, and now no one goes in there.
No, that's typical
Yeah.
of councils, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
they know best, and they know bugger all.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I know we've touched on this before about, you know, the skinheads, and you know, people, you know, the nicest people.
Well, yeah, proper ones are.
Yeah, they came to the Billy one night, and they were visiting ones, and they stood and I went, people putting through the door, and the landlord went out, and he went, all right, mate. He says, this looks a good fun pub. Can we come in? We're not. He says, we're genuine skinheads. We like the music, but you've got a good atmosphere in here. All we want is to enjoy the music and have a few beers. He says, well, this crowd, he says, this lot, as long as you like music, they all don't care what you dress like. And they came in, and there was a band on, and they got stuck in, and there with the music and drinking and having a good time. You know, and there's not many pubs in Northampton where you would get punks, skinheads, rockers, goths.
So it's a right old mash-up, isn't it?
And it was the most safest pub to be in Northampton.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no doorman on the front. The only pub in Northampton that didn't have doorman.
Well, you wouldn't have had that in Kettering. Well, you had the Rising Sun. That was a rockers pub. But no, as soon as there was a sniff that there was a load of skinheads about or whatever, you get the local casuals all turning up for, you know. But actually, the bikers, the Rising Sun, they were all right actually. All right, there was a bit of Mickey taking with the scooter riding fraternity, but there was nothing malicious.
No, I've been in the I went in the Rising Sun. You know, nice
Yeah,
bloke.
you wouldn't recognise it now. Oh Christ Almighty, it's all changed. But I used to go in there on a Friday night, a Saturday night, And it was always full of you had goths in there and your local student types, and there was loads of different tracks being played on the old jukebox and that. Lots of good music going on.
We've got some echo. Echo.
Yeah.
From me.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'll fix it. Okay, how's that?
Yep.
Yeah, we're no.
Woo, woo, woo.
Hello.
Hold on.
Goodbye.
Now
Here, there, and everywhere.
big goal stay. Big goal stay around.
It's coming out of his. It's coming out of his speakers and into his mic.
Hang on, we'll see who it is.
It is Michael.
Has it stopped? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Trying
right.
out I'm always trying out a new bit of kit. I picked up a wireless mic system for the field,
All
and I
right.
thought it would work for StreamYard, but evidently got some kinks to work out.
No, because if you've got speakers on, it'll pick them up.
Well,
It's
I'll try to get
not
next week.
a problem. So that's why I don't have my computer speakers on. I play it through the Boss, which is over there somewhere.
Do that what? Bosch?
Boss.
Oh.
It's an iPod.
You're echoing now,
Yeah.
and so am I.
Yeah, it's everybody. Yeah.
But if I do that, it's definitely our friend Mike.
Whoa. Da-da-da.
Yeah, la 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 la.
Oh.
How many songs have got echo on?
Echo and the Bunnyman.
Echo beat.
Oh, what have we started?
Are we still echoing? Yes, we are.
Really?
That's one from Andy Mike.
Yeah, the Duchess. Yeah, that was a gothic pop. Yeah, punk pop as well.
Why are you doing that, Michael? I'm going to just have to turn your sound off a minute, mate. All right. Has it gone? No.
Well, I'll log out, log back in because there's I've got no other tabs open.
No, but if you've got an open mic and speakers,
No, nothing. I put it all away. All right, let me log out.
okay.
Yeah, but I used to love watching the whistle test because around that time, when I was like sort of 14, 15, and my mum wouldn't have let me go to see any live sort of gigs like the Jam or whatever it is, even with a responsible adult. So whistle test was like the only way I could ever see live music.
Right. Yeah. So who was doing whistle test then when you started watching? Was it before them?
I think it was. I saw the odd sort of bits and bobs before '84. It would have been Annie Nightingale, wouldn't it? I would imagine.
Yeah.
And perhaps a bit of Bob Harris. But they're the only two ones I really recall seeing and watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like my way is going to see a live concert without actually being there, you know.
Oh yeah.
That's what I enjoyed about it. And then I remember watching an old episode with Beefheart on it, and oh good God.
I think one of my favourite classics is the Dr. Feelgood. When that, I mean,
Is
back
that
in
with,
the day,
with Wilco?
yeah, with Wilco like a robot.
Yeah. It's brilliant, isn't it?
The way he played the guitar, I was just totally fascinated by his.
Yeah, that was good, and I liked Alex Harvey Band and doing Delilah.
Yeah, with Alex looking in the camera saying, posing,
Yeah.
it's absolutely brilliant.
It was just Alex Harvey was just so menacing doing that song. Yeah.
I remember back in the day, when on the like on a bank holiday, that you'd get classic back-to-back old grey whistle tests.
Yeah.
And you just put it on. I mean, I know BBC4 do it now and again, and it's great. You just put it on and let it go because it's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's lots of clips on YouTube of some.
Oh, loads. Absolutely loads.
I've got there's a great one of Talking Heads.
Mm-hmm.
I think the B-52s even did whistle test in their careers.
Yeah. That they must have done. I can't actually recall them doing it, but they must have done it. I remember sort of first time I saw New York Dolls was on whistle test. Yeah. And I was just taken by them, and it was just sort of like this. It was a sort of almost like the beginnings of punk, wasn't it? It was a sort of glam band with a bit of extra. But I think Jet Boy, which is great.
Whispering Bob got so much flack because he called them mock rock.
Mock rock. Oh,
yeah.
Out of Germany, they had that brunette hostess. Music Laden, very similar. They would always hear bands from around, from Britain and the UK, very similar to Old Grey Whistle Test in terms of the format. They'd come on, bands would play 1 to 2 songs.
Yeah. They used to go and songs on the door, whatever, and they'd go to a TV screen and they actually show Top of the Pops.
Did you ever get episodes of it over in America?
Old Grey Whistle Test? I don't know. Neither Music Laden or Old Grey Whistle Test. Wasn't until YouTube that I discovered them. We had our own, right? We had Midnight Special, hosted by Wolfman Jack, and Dick Clark, American Bandstand. And Don Kirshner's rock concert. Where
there's all clips of them on YouTube as well. Sure. I mean, the Midnight Special ones are brilliant. I love. I mean, there's a great set of Blondie on there.
Yep.
And there's even Status Quo in the 70s at the Midnight, and they were terrific. The Status Quo in America live. Slade went on. Sparks have been on. It really is good. I watch Midnight Specials.
What Slade were on Midnight Specials, not on Whistle Test.
This was I don't think they were on Whistle Test, but they definitely were on Midnight Special.
Yeah, I don't think Slade were ever on Whistle Test, were they? Because there was a thing. I mean, particularly I think in the sort of like early 70s. So this was when I was at school, and it was Bob Harris, and Whistle Test was very much sort of the bands that concentrated on producing albums rather than the singles chart. So there'd be a lot of a lot of rock music, but very little in the way of sort of like glam and Slade,
Who was Bob Harris? What was his story? How did he get that role? I mean, he didn't have a tremendous stage presence.
No,
that was precisely why he got the name Whispering Bob.
I mean, he was he became an absolute legend though. Whispering Bob Harris. But he was very earnest about about his music, and it was almost as though sort of like it's not really about having fun, it's about listening to great music and appreciating it.
Was he a journalist?
Yeah, I mean, he used to do the in concerts as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Radio, because I think I've got a cut. I think one of the Deep Purple in concerts, he introduces Deep Purple.
Yeah. What was that? Oh God, it was on ITV, and it was it'll come to me in a minute what it's called, but it was sort of like in the late 70s, early 80s. So there's a lot of punk bands on, and it was Peter Cook played a sort of disgruntled sort of venue manager, and there were all these bands coming on that he hated, and he'd complain about them.
Oh,
and I think it was produced by Mike Mansfield.
Yeah, because Mike Mansfield he did his Q so and so Q's.
Yeah, it wasn't that. It was there were. What was his program called?
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Plenty of. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's probably on Granada. Yeah. I mean, another good program that was that I think Granada Television did was So It Goes. That was hosted by Tony Wilson.
Yeah.
And they used to just go out to the sort of the seediest little clubs where the sort of punk bands were playing, and at the time, most of the music they were playing were sort of unsigned bands.
And division on that.
Yeah.
Before they
remember that there's footage there of the Pistols playing, and Susie's in the audience.
Talking to Susie, they were on the Great Whistle Test a few times, weren't they?
They were, yeah.
And Tubeway Army were.
Yeah. The Specials were, Madness were.
Yeah.
I think the Jam might have been, but I'm not 100% sure.
They must have been, surely.
Even Judas Priest, when they first came out, they were promoting their first album, which is not a rock album. And there's classic clips of them, as this very young band.
I mean, I've mentioned why the hell the BBC don't do a huge CD, DVD box set with the various episodes.
Yeah.
But you think there's a hell of a lot of music material there. Why don't they just release
probably
albums? You've got the Peel Sessions albums.
Yeah.
Whistle Test albums would be just as good.
Yeah, but weren't the Peel Sessions under John Peel, not BBC contract? It might be copyright.
Yeah, they were. The stuff was licensed to Strange Fruit label, wasn't it?
Yes,
it was Pills. But you get a lot of Pill sessions now, and I mean, there were a couple. A couple have been out recently. I mean, the Record Store Day one that I just bought was Swell Maps, and it's three Pill sessions on one album. So they must be available.
Yeah, I've got them clips actually on a Judas Priest video.
There you go. This is one of the, if you're looking on YouTube, this is one of the best ones to look for.
Right.
Earl Grey Whistle Test full episode performing da 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 da, and it's by the Rock Guy, and there's 132.
All right, something for everyone then.
Oh yeah, I mean, There you go. Judas Priest, 25th of April, 1975.
Yeah. Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Skynyrd.
Manhattan Transfer. That's a bit of a surprise. 1977.
Oh,
The Kinks, 77.
Clapton.
Yeah.
Blondie,
Brand
28
X.
minutes. Iggy Pop.
The Jury and the Blockheads, 1980. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the bearded Phil Collins, Genesis Live.
Joni
Focus.
Mitchell. Bloody hell.
Tom Petty and the
Yeah,
Heartbreakers.
well, that
Roy
is
Cooder.
Psycho Killer. That is brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bill
Marley
Withers,
and the Wailers.
please.
How many songs did a group play on an episode of Old Grey Whistle Test? Only
Yeah.
2 to 3, right?
It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 5.
Yeah.
It all depended. It could
Yeah.
be one show devoted to one band, or more often it was 5 or 6 bands, maybe 2 songs each.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It was quite varied, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf playing Born
Yeah.
to Be Wild. That's a really good clip.
Howe and Squire.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
my
I think,
God.
I mean, when they did the Alex Harvey, it was a more of a special because they played
Yeah.
new tracks, didn't they?
That's the one recorded. John Lennon, the special, recorded in 75. This is the one that was replayed. Annie Nightingale replayed it the night John Lennon was killed. That episode was put out again. She did. She
All
did
right.
a special. Focus.
Yeah.
Stones. Roxy Music. Oh, Roxy Music.
That was
Yeah.
a great session. It looked great.
Yeah, but Whispering Bob got into trouble over that because he disliked Roxy Music.
He did what?
He didn't like Roxy Music.
Oh,
Yeah. Now this one here, ZZ Top. That was their very first appearance on British television.
All right.
That never had been heard of.
So there's only 2 minutes there, but there's 7 minutes there. So you can see there's not a big country.
Yeah, that's the
Close
first place
action,
I
Thousand
saw.
Stars.
That's the first place I saw Big Country was on Whistle Test. And the Smiths.
King Crimson. Iggy Pop. You see, some of them were recorded videos, some of them were live performances.
Yeah.
See, the Budgie Bombers.
Heart crazy on you, Budgie.
Budgie, Wishbone Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Johnny Winter on there once.
Oh,
Him
yeah. Yeah.
and doing, I think it was a cover of Jumping Jack Flash.
no.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely rocking he was.
Yeah.
Oh, the U2 one.
Edgar.
They were about 10.
Edgar's been on as well, hasn't he? Doing Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I just remember his brother Johnny on the. He's dead now, isn't he?
Johnny
Johnny
was the most
Winter.
famous of the two, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
Toya.
Toya's been on as well.
Is it? Well, there you go. Adding a touch of class.
Even UK have been on there, which is.
Mhm.
Oh, I've seen that John Martin one. They're absolutely brilliant, the John Martin ones.
Yeah.
The Undertones.
The
There you go, Dr. Feelgood.
doing Rockstead, that is just legendary.
There he is, it's Johnny Winter.
There he is, yeah, Johnny Winter, yeah.
Followed up by George Benson.
Oh,
Horselips, yeah.
Horselips, yeah, good bit of sort of psychedelic folk rock, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh, there's the New York Dolls doing Jet Boy. Yeah.
There's Rory. Lynette and Friends.
Humble
Yeah.
Pie.
Yeah, Phil Lynott.
Then there is Alex Harvey,
Yeah.
Delilah.
Next. The rebroadcast.
Yeah,
Too.
that Delilah's got to be one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the two of them in the background doing their
Yeah.
little dance.
Yeah.
Even the Damned went on there doing Smash It Up.
There you go, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, I just can't be happy for that as well, yeah.
Bowie.
I can't remember the dam being on, actually. I can't remember that at all.
I've seen a bit of it. I've seen a bit of it.
I'm not going to play because
Yeah.
we'll probably get a copyright strike.
Yeah. I remember the David Bowie, and I mean, you know, Bowie in '72. That was a peak as far as I'm concerned for Bowie.
What's that? What's the guy's channel? I'll probably be up all night watching
the rock guy.
The rock guy.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't know about this channel. I'm going to be doing this.
So
Well,
if you do
it's a playlist. He just assembled the clips and put them into a playlist.
yeah, which makes it a lot easier for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. The specials, the message to you, Rudy.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
That's great. Clip.
Yeah, Monkey Man. Yeah.
Kevin Coyne, brilliant.
Wow.
Cheap Trick live.
Yeah.
1970.
I mean, everybody knows I Want You to Want Me live at the Budokan. Here's live at the Old Grey Whistle Test.
Yeah.
Al Stewart at Year of the Cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. Oh, Can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bebop's Deluxe, there you go.
Yeah. What are they doing? I don't know. Well, that's
I don't know, but there's
yeah.
almost 24 minutes, level 42. So that 9 minutes, that's probably a song and an interview.
Yeah.
Paul Simon with Annie Nightingale.
Yeah. Some good Supertramp there as well.
Oh, 7 minutes of Rudy, thank you. And Dreamer.
Joe Jackson. So that's some absolute brilliant. So
yeah. Now the thing is, if I go whiz it back up to the top, unavailable videos are hidden. So I can watch 124 out of 132 that's on this guy's playlist.
Oh, right.
So it's probably something to do with country. I don't know.
Yeah, plenty to go on though, isn't there?
Oh God,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah,
I'm definitely
I'll
gonna
be.
go watch that one. Anyway,
we should watch a few and report back next week.
Okay,
that's an idea.
Yeah.
Even if it's just 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'll be a thing.
Yeah, well, we've all got our own favourites, haven't we? So,
Well, I'll watch any old crap. I will.
oh, I know that, Nick.
Yeah.
Look, Charlie, I've seen the stuff you buy at record fairs, mate.
Yeah.
Just answering one. Paul Sart, Horslips is on the list because someone else put them on the list.
Yes, I did. I put them on the list.
Yeah.
I've got the first 2 Feel Good albums. I've got
those are the best. Should he go further?
Yeah. Do you know I haven't got any feel good albums at all. I really need to, and you know, I've been getting more and more into pop rock sort of recently. So yeah.
Rob reckons only the first 2 are any good.
Yeah. Possibly.
Can it be more crap rock?
Is Rob still there? So I was just wondering if Rob, how old that comment is he still tuned in, watching?
Yeah, it's only just come up.
Oh, has he recovered yet? Are you recovered yet, Rob?
Yeah. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Ian. We're looking at conversation, answering questions.
There we go. There's Down by the Jetty, original copy.
Excellent.
And Malpractice, original copy.
Yeah, that's a nice cover of that.
Yeah, I like that cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had these a very long time. They are and they are original copies. They're not second pressing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
in good nick as well. I love playing these two, especially Down by the Jetty. It's probably one of my favourite albums by the band.
Yeah. Dave Atkinson did a good video, didn't he? About 45 minutes of Den Bosch.
Yeah, I want to go.
And, yeah, it looks brilliant, doesn't it? But yeah.
Oh, later albums are cheap for a reason.
Well, yeah.
So how was Den Bosch, Rob? Did you come back bankrupt?
Probably. Anyway, talking videos, I watched yours on Spalding, Nick. Oh, I was getting twitchy.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, I was like this. I want to go.
Yeah. I watched David Atkinson's. It was really quite good. Yeah, it's gave a real sort of feel to sort of like what it was like to sort of go over there.
Yeah,
and I mean, he must have bought about 50 albums, I think. Because at the end, he was sat at that table, and he'd take it bag after bag.
That's right. Yeah.
Of records. Yeah. Must have been at least 50. Yeah.
I've got the Beat one and the Coventry Automatics, and there's another one he showed that I've already got. But he like you say, he must have picked up about 50. Christ, and I always get the impression that stuff there's really expensive, but it's not, is it? Oh, you will get expensive records anywhere you go.
Yeah, but that was. I mean, they started off, didn't they, with what was it, a €3 challenge or something, or €2, whatever. But dirt cheap records, and they picked up some decent stuff. And I mean, some of it, you think, how did you get that so cheaply? Because even €10 for an album is pretty damn cheap, isn't it? Nowadays.
Yeah, well, I sat in my lorry on break during the week, and I was writing down on bits of paper, €5, what's that the equivalent of in pounds, and then €7. I mean, I had a rough idea of how much in English money they were paying for the records, and it's not as bad as what you think it is. It really isn't.
No, it's not bad at all. But I suppose the thing is, there's going to be stuff there that is sort of, out of the reach of most people.
Oh Christ, yeah.
But that's going to be, a tiny proportion, isn't it, of the total stuff. And I mean, if you think about it, if you get all those vendors, in this sort of like, well, looks like an aircraft hangar, doesn't it? I mean, it's so bloody big. You get all those vendors in there. If they're selling all their stuff at exorbitant prices, well, no one's going to buy it, are they?
Right.
Okay, I'll put a link for Bob if he wants to come up and talk about Den Bosch. So I think that'd be a great thing. So we can ask questions about Den Bosch and
let's do that.
And if you've got any questions in the gallery, and I'm sure Rob will answer them. Dave and I will we'll put them up so Rob can answer them, and we'll tell him. So come up, Rob, and tell us all about Den Bosch. I think we're all very interested.
Yeah.
No idea.
No.
They split with his money.
Yes, so going back to your Spalding video, Nick, I've never seen so many for this country. That's huge, isn't it? That I've never seen so many records. I mean, the singles. Right. That singles.
Yeah.
We're going to need a whole. We're going to be there for hours.
Well, yeah. We're
Well,
going to have to do it. We're going to have to do it in more than one go. I don't think I could be wandering around for 5 or 6 hours. I need to sit down and something to eat in the middle somewhere.
Here he is, the man himself. Evening,
So what
Rob.
we'll do, we'll put him
Welcome
there.
back.
We'll put him at the top. There we go. So
Yep.
it's got
Yeah.
Oh, no.
it's lovely to see you, Rob.
Can I start? Can I start? Just a sort of general question about Den Bosch. How do you navigate so many stalls, Rob?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
yeah.
So when you first walk in, I'm sure you've seen the footage.
Yeah.
Like 2 really massive halls with probably over 300 vendors in each one. So you've got to spend the first hour kind of just getting over how vast it is really, and
Is
trying
there an entrance fee, Rob?
Is there
An entrance fee? Was it free
Yes.
to get in?
No, so it only it costs us €20 for 2 days, which isn't too bad. It's about £17.50, that, isn't it? So it's not too bad. And you can go in at, I think it was 9 o'clock on the Saturday and 10 o'clock on the Sunday, and it's open till 5 o'clock.
Good God!
So if you got any questions, because it's one thing we spoke about was when we were looking to go. So when I had a meet up in London in late summer, there was a few people there, and I kind of mentioned I fancied it. And then I think David Atkinson and Gav kind of picked up on that. And within a couple of weeks, we'd booked everything. So I can give you a rundown of the costs of what it was to get over.
Before you do that, there's a question from Jason Rojas. Did you meet Stunty?
I did meet Stunty, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. But it was
Deadwax. Did you get a free hot dog?
The thing was that with Stunty, he was messaging me on an Instagram account that I don't have access to anymore. So he wanted to meet me with Steve Davis on the Friday evening and maybe speak on, because they did a live stream. So I was a bit gutted I missed Steve Davis, but I'm sure I'll meet him later down the line, because Steve Davis was loving it there. He said it was the best experience he's had in his life, better than getting a 147.
Yeah, he was there in the autumn as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, Steve Davis.
Yeah.
So he's selling at record fairs in London as well.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
I can't remember who it was.
it was Martin, wasn't it? It was Martin Parrott.
It was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, so that'd be a bit surreal. Did he get him to sign a Spitting Image album?
He did, yeah. which I think is priceless. I really love that.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, so yeah, if you've got any questions, I can run down like the cost of it. Because there were 3 of us, we kind of obviously split the driving. The only problem is, so driving to me is the best way, but we were threatening, worrying a little bit about customs and things like that. So we've come up with an alibi. We was going to say that if they stopped us, we'd been at a stag do, and then when we came back, you get all these stories. We were going to say that we saw there was a record fair on, and we just went in and bought a load of cheap records. But we didn't need to worry about that, because when we went over, nobody looked in our car. I don't know whether the kind of profile people. So maybe if you've got a certain profile, they might stop and they might be suspicious. So we just got on the shuttle, very smooth over there. Took about 3.5 hours to get from Calais to Den Bosch. Den Bosch is an absolutely lovely city, dead welcoming, clean as anything. Nothing like the UK.
Yeah, I saw your bit on today on your Instagram.
Yeah, it's funny.
And I can't believe how, you're right, it's so bloody clean. Not a fag, but a bit of paper.
I know.
Yeah,
And
I really love those city squares that they have in the Netherlands and Belgium. They're lovely, aren't they?
absolutely got. Well, I was in the Netherlands for a couple of years on and off, so I know Den Bosch really well. But when we was coming home again, it was like 3.5 hours. We got on the shuttle. We drove off the shuttle. We went. So when you're in France, you go through both the passport. Nobody looked in our car. No one was interested. And then when you drove off the shuttle, you're more or less driving onto the motorway. Because I keep thinking they're going to pull us over here. We're going to have to go past some sort of checkpoint. But no. So they didn't even look in our car at all. So we could have brought back thousands of records, really. But
I thought David did bring back thousands.
yeah, I know.
That bit at the end of his video, it was just, bag after bag, wasn't it?
I was sitting there because what he kept doing was, so he kept going back to his car.
Yeah, he said it. There's a bit in the video, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So he goes back to the car. And so then when he came back, he didn't have many records. But then when we looked in the back of the car, when we put our stuff in, we could see them all. But he didn't spend. I don't think he spent more than €10 on one record. He was getting a lot of the sealed stuff. For some of the sealed stuff, the prices were crazy. So I was speaking to some guys from London, and when they had 4 pallets of records. I'm not sure how many records were on each pallet. Probably 2,500. That's so many on a pallet. So that was delivered to Den Bosch. When I got to their stall, which was quite late on Saturday, they only had half a pallet left.
Wow.
Their records were like €9, and they had some good stuff for €9. So I picked a few up, and then I went there later on Sunday, and they had about 3 boxes, and they were 4 for €10. So I picked up 10. Picked up another 4. So just because they can't take anything home. Gets delivered there, they sell it, and then they come back. And there was like 4 guys from London.
All right.
So that was quite interesting. But there's a lot. I mean, like I say, there's something for everyone. I was shocked how there was so many bargain bins of albums that were like €5, which is like £4.20 or something like that. And then when you went back on Sunday, they were €3. So, do you know what I mean? But you can go on Friday if you want as well. So I believe Friday's really good for getting the cheap, the cheapest stuff, but the best of the cheapest stuff.
Right.
But if you don't see it, you don't know it was there, do you? So,
Yeah.
So did you do one haul on Saturday and then the next haul on the Sunday, or did you go into both on the same day?
Yeah, I kind of walked around them both on the same day. I think looking back, my tactic would be broadly on the Saturday, I'd look for the cheapest stuff. This is what I spoke about. And then on the Sunday, I'd go to like the half price vendors, because probably about 5 to 10% of the vendors were selling between 30 and 50% off on the second day. Well, you might say 5 to 10%, but that's probably between 60 and 80 vendors. So that's a lot of vendors that are selling. I bought some records 50% off. €20 records for €10. So, and I got a couple of, I don't like using the term grail, but I got a couple of records that I'd not seen before, and I was really pleased to pick up. So,
excellent.
Yeah, it was good. But
did you talk to these vendors at all? I mean, are these guys brick and mortar stores, or are they private dealers? What did you profile them and get a sense of who these?
Yeah, a little bit. I spoke to a guy from Utrecht, so that's where the fair used to be. I bought quite a bit of stuff from him, and he's got a shop in Utrecht. So he was offering me like 25% if I spent a fair bit, and I did with him. He was the person I got a couple of me kind of grails from, and he'd give me 25% off. And one of them's like a band from like very close to where I live, so that was a bit weird going all the way over there. There was a guy from Sweden I got talking to, who was a Manchester City fan, so you can tell I was chatting to him for a while. He'd just got a huge collection. I started looking at the records because they're like €5. You know, when you look through about 4 and they're all like mint. And I was asking him, and he said, "Oh, these are all up from one collection." And he was selling them all for like €5. So, so I did speak to quite a few vendors, but obviously, the time goes so quick because like the second day, I didn't really want to have a break at dinner time because you're against the clock, and you can't look at everything. There was so many 7-inch singles that were like, like €0.50, and I was I was looking at like they had loads of like Sweet and Slade that were, like German and Dutch copies, so they had like picture sleeves with them.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. Oh,
Like,
wow.
Yeah. That would be my thing, Rob. That would definitely blow my boat. Yeah.
But they weren't even €1. There was like €0.50, and there was thousands and thousands of them. So it does get a bit. It's hard looking through singles, isn't it? It's hard looking through albums. Is a little bit easier.
Yeah. I mean, with singles, you have to sort of like, lift them up, don't you, to sort of see what you've got. And
a lot of them your sleeve though, so it's a bit easier, isn't it? I pulled a few out to look at the condition, and they're obviously in the European, with the centre. But I don't mind that. That's what you want, innit? You want something different. So
yeah, there's a lot of the Quo singles that that are different covers. And I'd have.
Yeah, because those records from like the 70s, although they're desirable, they're not top dollar records. So they were just in the giveaway bins, really. So,
but people
you lot would have loved it.
That's it. We'd have honed in on them.
Yeah. There was honestly.
Yeah. Ian's become the king of the bargain bin, don't you?
Yeah. So it was. It was. I was a bit sad coming home because I wanted another day. You know what I mean? But there's always.
Did a lot of the vendors speak English then?
Yeah. I don't think there was any that didn't speak some English.
Yeah.
I saw an American guy. He's called Lance. He's got a channel. He's got a shop in America, and I was looking at some records, and he was next to me, and I said, "Is this your stall?" And he said, "No." And then I thought, "Hang on a minute." Anyway, he's called Lance. He's got a channel. Got a couple of thousand subscribers. He's got quite long hair. You probably don't watch his channel, but I spoke to him for a while. But I only saw Stunty right at the end of the fair. So, but if I don't go back in November, I'll definitely be going back in next April. But yeah, it was. I didn't speak to Michael 45, but I saw him. But I was sitting down having a drink, and somebody I was with said, "There's Michael 45," and he walked past, and I wouldn't have recognised him because he seemed a lot slimmer than I was expecting, and he was pretty. I want to say he's dishevelled, but he wears like fisherman jumpers, doesn't he? He wears them fisherman's jumpers, and he had like brown cargo pants on. So he,
bank supporter, what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and then came walking past a little bit later, but I didn't have. If he'd have been at a stall, I would have gone. I would have gone and spoke to him, but I'll see him again. I've no doubt about that. So, because I definitely want to go back every year. I was watching a few of the videos, you know, from Record Store Day, and some of the prices of records that people are paying for Record Store Day. And I was thinking, there's so much better value over in Den Bosch. There's like this myth that everything's... And don't get me wrong, you could pay a lot of money for records if you want. But I would say, don't go over there thinking it's going to be... It suits every pocket, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no grading, right?
There's great. Yeah, there was grading. I'd say there was some grading, but not the grading that you're used to. The thing is, Michael, I wasn't probably I'm not sort of the best person to sort of speak about, you know, the kind of records that maybe you're talking about. But there was, I did buy some. Did look at records, and they were saying because I bought a Fela Kuti, so Fela Kuti records. If you know, you don't get like mint copies of those, so it'd say G on it, so a G would be pretty rough. VG plus would probably be just about good enough to take home, and I got a VG plus, and that cost me €20. That's not bad for a Fela Kuti.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, I saw that. I saw that Fela Kuti that you picked up, and I thought, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Which one did you pick up, Rob?
It's Live in Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah. That's a good album.
And there was it was €20, so that's probably like about 18 quid. But you don't see them out in the wild, do you, Mike? Fela Kuti albums?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No.
In fact, I mean, most of my Fela Kuti stuff is sort of reissues.
Yeah, I've got a couple of originals, but they don't come cheap. But I heard you talking, you know, before I came on, and you were, because I just put you on, and you were saying like about that €3 challenge and that Aphrodite's Child for €3.
Yeah,
that's decent, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, David sort of poo-pooed that a bit, didn't he?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I think he was just jealous because what did he get? What was it? A Barclay James Harvest?
Yeah, well, we spent all the trip. Barclay James Harvest. Well, not all the trip, but quite a lot of it.
Yeah.
That was like the standing joke, you know, of the whole trip.
Yeah, I noticed he bought quite a lot. He bought some pretty good. He built some pretty good stuff as well, I thought.
Oh, I tell you, David Atkinson. I stayed at his house, so I went down on the train this time last week. I was at his house, so I stayed there on Thursday. Then we set off at crack of dawn. Gav lives over near Shrewsbury, so he had about an hour drive, 50-minute drive. So we kind of set off at 6 a.m, and then when we got back on Monday, we weren't sure what time we were going to get back, so we got back about 7. So I stayed at David Atkinson's on Monday evening as well. So I didn't go home until lunchtime. So I went in like the inner sanctum of David Atkinson's room. I'd like room
where he does his videos.
Honestly, yeah. The guy, he's got 5 record players. He's got a shed at the bottom of the garden that's nearly as big as my house. Right? Honestly, it's unbelievable. And then in his attic, he's got a system which is second to none. When I was listening to the music, I had to sit in this one chair that was absolutely perfectly positioned.
Right.
I'm not sure whether he's got about 15,000 records, something like that. It's crazy.
He was on a live stream. I think it's on Ramon's live stream, and yeah, it was something like I think he might have said 20,000. You know,
honestly. So I went. So I was asleep. So downstairs, I won't give too much. Well, you know, I don't think it's like too. So I slept overnight, and in his front, what you would class as his house is pretty big. So in his front room is a bedroom. So that he's got a double bedded. That's where I slept in there. And he had record player in there that's probably worth about $8,000. And he had all his classical music in there. Then he had built-in cupboards with all his CDs in it. I think he's got 6,000 CDs or something stupid like that. But honestly, you couldn't meet a nicer guy. I mean, all his family. He's got 2 daughters, and his wife's lovely as well. Made me really welcome. It was, it was very hospitable. Even though I did break his toilet, but apart from that,
yeah.
Well done, Rob.
No, well, I didn't break it, but that was another bit of a joke. But yeah. No.
Yeah, I've never spoken to him until I saw him on Ron Moulds, and he's such a nice guy, isn't he? He talks to you if you've known him for years.
Yeah,
it's such a nice bloke.
He's really good. We spoke about politics and put the worlds to rights. He's just a really good, really good company. Loves his football. So on the Sunday we was in a bar that we'd been in on the Saturday night, and we'd spoken to the owners and said, we want to watch the football because he's a Newcastle United fan. So we watched the Manchester United game in there, and Newcastle won 4-1. So he was in a good mood after that as well. So yeah. But he's retired.
Yeah. I say he did a really nice video that he'd gone back home to Newcastle.
Yeah.
He did a video, but about a month or so ago, and I thought that was really nice.
I'd recommend anyone to subscribe to him. He has quite a lot of varied content on his channel. He goes riding on his bike. He's done health videos talking about different issues he's had to deal with over the last few years. So yeah, he's a bit of a sleeper, really. Even though he has got a lot of subscribers, I think he's over 8,000 subscribers. But certainly a channel recommend.
Yeah, we'll give him. I'll put his in the description. Give him a shout out because he is such a nice guy, and he's
And I don't want to leave Gav out. I mean, Gav was great company as well.
I'm sure Gav was.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah,
and, John Downing was with us as well. He'd been over in the Netherlands with his family, but they went home, and John stayed on for a couple of days. So he came over to Den Bosch. He was with us for a couple of days. Well,
I see he was in the Amsterdam record shops as well.
Oh yeah, well he was in Amsterdam with his family, but that didn't stop him going to record shops, did it? But yeah. So yeah, I just thought I'd come on. It's not because because one of the things I was going to say is when we was planning on going, there wasn't that much on YouTube showing the scale of the thing. Whereas I think that's some of David's video. It does give you an idea about the trip. I mean, cost us the hotel, which was about 3 kilometers outside Den Bosch. It was about 80 quid a night in there, and that was with breakfast. And it was a nice place.
Yeah,
that was okay. So, and what else was it? Oh yes. So on the shuttle, it cost us about. So the shuttle was. I give Dave wanted like 60 quid for the fuel for both directions, so that wasn't too bad. And the shuttle was about 160, something like that each. So
is that per person then?
Yeah, that was per person. Yeah, on the shuttle.
Oh.
Yeah, but obviously, if there's 4 people going in a car, then that's a little bit cheaper again. I think it was. So what's 160 times 3, whatever that is, and then 400 and whatever, 500 quid. But if there was 4 of you going over, then it's split a little bit. I mean, Dave's got like a Volvo hybrid 90, so it's a massive, big car, loads of room. So I was in the back of the car, and it was like luxury travel really. And Dave drove all the way. No problems, no traffic jams, apart from in the UK, of course. But we get used to that, don't we?
Yeah, the difference is the whole difference in the roads and the continent are just put us to shambles. I mean, I travelled a lot on the railways in Europe, and they put us to disgrace.
Honestly, the way of life and the way it was in Holland it's a real eye opener, and that's why they don't want you to go on foreign holidays and go looking at these other countries, because they pose a shame.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, people of Birmingham nowadays are sharing their city with rats, aren't they?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
quite. They're used to that in Birmingham, aren't they?
Yeah.
So how much was the your food and that? I presume you ate out every night at the pub.
Yes. On the Friday, we had a steak in the hotel. Absolutely gorgeous steak, and I think I had another course and drunk beer till it was coming out of my ears, and it cost me about €70. All the others were like collapsing. Like Garvey nearly fell over, collapsed. John Downing, he was so rough on Saturday. So that was quite funny. I had to throw him in a taxi about 2:15 in the morning. And it was at the record fair at about 8:45. So he was,
bloody hell.
but he's just like the prices here, if not maybe a little bit cheaper probably, but not anything excessive.
Yeah. But I mean, what would you say though, Rob, that, apart from the record fair, I mean, it sounds like it was worth going anyway.
Yeah.
Even without all the records.
Yeah, I said that before I went. I said I'm just going for the crack. Well, I knew I'd find some records, but I'd never met David Atkinson before. I'd never met Gav, but I didn't have any qualms. I knew that we'd just have a good time. I mean, the laughs that we had, the amount of one-liners that were thrown out, but David didn't have his camera on all the time, so he missed so many, little one-liners that were coming out. So, but yeah, you're right, Mike. If you go over with the right people, but people in the vinyl community, we all know, you struggle, don't you, to find someone you're not going to get on with. So it was great.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like when me and Nick go up to Leeds to see Mike. We have such a crack.
Oh, don't talk to me about going to bloody Leeds with you lot. Bloody hell.
Hey, come on. Ancient history, Rob.
Yeah, so I've nearly forgotten about that till Iain said that.
Yeah.
We're going to go. This place in Spalding. We're going to go down to that in the summer.
Yeah. We did speak though about the possibility of going to Leeds maybe in October, because I was telling him that it was really
Gav mentioned it to me. Yeah.
So, but David Atkinson's going over to America to Vancouver, for MGK's party.
Oh, blimey.
Oh God, yeah. So,
Linda,
yeah. Vinyl Martini's in Vancouver as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think he's going Niagara Falls with Brian. I'm not sure, but he was trying to. We might go next year. We're not sure. We're doing a world tour. We're going to take over the only place we don't want to go is Japan.
Fine.
Sorry, Michael.
Just looked at the thing. Saturday, November the 11th. My birthday. Was on the Is on the Thursday, so that might be a nice one. Yeah. My birthday. We'll get together for my birthday.
I might even buy you a present, Iain, as a
I'll definitely buy you a beer.
Yeah, we did have a look at the date. Yeah, it was the 11th, weren't it? Yeah.
So it's my birthday. Yeah, that might be something for celebrate my 59th birthday. A bit of
it'd be bloody cold though, wouldn't it? The wind would be rattling through.
Not necessarily. It might be nice in October.
It's always nice on my birthday. We once had a barbecue on my birthday, didn't we, Dave?
Yes.
Yes. It was hot.
It was.
But it was good. So all I can say, thank you very much for coming up, Rob.
No problem.
So it's been lovely.
Yeah, nice to get the lowdown.
Yeah.
Talk to you again, mate.
Yeah. My pleasure.
No, it's been a pleasure. So we're going to put this down. Finish this off. Has anyone got anything to hold up?
I have actually, because I I was going to talk about this actually,
Oh,
not the album,
Yeah.
but the film, because the film's 50 years old.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
yeah?
Yeah, and it's going to be re-released.
Yes.
What, for the cinemas or?
Yeah, apparently so.
for,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
for they're doing it for Record Store Day, aren't they?
It's a good film, that. I watched it last year. It's a good film.
It is brilliant, isn't it? But
Yeah.
apparently, it didn't do Slade any favors because, you know, the fans were expecting a sort of like, you know, a knockabout sort of, you know, Beatles Hard Day's Night kind of film.
Yeah.
And they end up with this sort of dark sort of film about being shafted by the music industry.
It's
Really
really
my
good.
favourite scene is the race at the beginning with the hearse. I love that scene.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
Anyway, time to show record.
Yeah, do you want to?
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Oh, we're going to wait for Nicholas. What's he going to? There we go.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Just once again, a big thank you for Rob to giving us the lowdown of Den Bosch. I think it's made all of us want to go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for my usual panelists. Thank you very much for you for in the thing. And we'll see you all next week. Have a great Easter, everyone, and I'll see you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Don't forget to check
everybody.
out. Don't forget to check out the old grey whistle test.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's your homework for this week.
Okay.
Okay.
Happy Easter. Take care.